This is Luke chapter 23, verses 1 through to 12. Remember, the Lord Jesus has been arrested on the Mount of Olives, and he's been taken down to the palace of the high priest, and then he's been beaten up by all the palace guards in the courtyard there of the chief priests. And then in the morning, the whole council of elders has come together, the chief priests and the scribes, and they've had this kind of mock trial of him, and they've questioned him, and finally, they all said, "Are you the Son of God then?" And he said to them, "Yes, I am." And this, they think, great, this is what we've wanted. From his own lips, he said, "I am the Son of God. I am the Messiah. I am the King of the Jews." So Caesar couldn't countenance the idea of another king over one of his provinces. So this was insurrection. This was it's his own death sentence as far as they're concerned. So they've got the evidence now, and they're going to take him down to Pilate, who can issue the death sentence on the Lord Jesus. It says, "Then the whole body of them got up and brought him before Pilate. And they began to accuse him, saying, 'We found this man misleading our nation and forbidding to pay taxes to Caesar, and saying that he himself is Christ, a king.' So Pilate asked him, saying, 'Are you the king of the Jews?' And he answered him and said, 'It's as you say.' Then Pilate said to the chief priests and the crowds, 'I find no guilt in this man.' But they kept on insisting, saying, 'He stirs up the people, teaching all over Judea, starting from Galilee, even as far as this place.' When Pilate heard it, he asked whether the man was a Galilean. And when he learned that he belonged to Herod's jurisdiction, he sent him to Herod, who himself also was in Jerusalem at that time. Now Herod was very glad when he saw Jesus, for he had wanted to see him for a long time, because he had been hearing about him and was hoping to see some sign performed by him. And he questioned him at some length, and he answered him nothing. And the chief priests and the scribes were standing there, accusing him vehemently, and Herod with his soldiers, after treating him with contempt and mocking him, dressed him in a gorgeous robe and sent him back to Pilate. Now Herod and Pilate became friends with one another that very day, for before they had been enemies with each other. So they don't know what to do with Jesus. Pilate doesn't know what to do with Jesus, and they've come to him. They've come with the key accusation they've got is that Jesus is saying he's the King of the Jews, and therefore this is a rebellion and an insurrection. Therefore, it should be put down by death. But they come and they say Jesus has said he shouldn't pay taxes to Caesar. Now, Jesus never said that. You know, we've read in the scriptures. Jesus said, "Pay unto Caesar what is due unto Caesar, and to God what is due unto God." And so the accusations are false. And Pilate sees right through what the chief priests are trying to do. It's their jealousy of him and his popularity amongst the people. And as they're talking, they let this out of the bag, that he's a Galilean. And Pilate thinks, well, let Herod sort this out. So he sends Jesus up to Herod. And Herod's pretty glad that Jesus has come. And he tries to engage with him and talk to him. But Jesus doesn't say anything to him. He answered him nothing, it says. And the chief priests were standing by, and they were accusing him vehemently with this kind of demonic accusations coming against the Lord Jesus. And finally, they put this, it says, a gorgeous robe or a royal robe or a purple robe upon him. and they send him back to Pilate. Herod hasn't got anywhere. He's wanted to see Jesus. He's already murdered Jesus' cousin, John the Baptist, and now he wants to see Jesus, but he gets nowhere because his heart is hardened, and he's full of pride rather than bowing his knee to the Lord Jesus.